Hello there, my name is Bob Orchard, coming to you from Old Town Mariposa, and we have a special treat for you today. But I just wanted to make sure you understand the show is being brought to you by Best Gold Coin, the family-friendly restaurant downtown Old Town Mariposa. And we're doing our show in our 3MC studio here in the historic Mariposa Hotel. And I have with me a couple of historic ladies. Well, not really historic. Some special people here today to talk about something that is probably one of the best events from my perspective that we put together in this town. Kitty Nasarow and Lisa Sullivan.
Also known as Clancy.
That's an Irish name.
Yes, it is.
I bet you have a temper to go with that, huh? And the red hair? At any rate, Kitty and Lisa are here to talk to us about the Pioneer Wagon Train. And but first, before we get into that, Kitty, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, I've only lived in Mariposa for about 2 years. I came from the Bay Area.
Where at in the Bay Area?
San Mateo, Burlingame area.
Okay.
And it is a welcome change.
Okay.
I tell my friends that in Mariposa, traffic is 10 cars. And they all want to come here. But if they did that, it'd be just like the Bay Area.
Yeah,
so
we always talk about the bad weather, the bugs and the mosquitoes. We try to discourage people from it. It's a nice place to visit, but you wouldn't want to live here.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway.
But we love living here.
Good.
Absolutely love it. It's the best thing I ever did for myself besides marrying my husband.
And Lisa.
Yes.
What is it, Clancy?
Well, that's my character name, Clancy, yes.
That's a boy's name.
It could go either way, yeah. But I'm kind of like Calamity Jane in a way. I do of course my husband would say it's more Catastrophe Sue. But yeah, Clancy I like. I do Civil War reenactment too, and my character there is Clancy, so it's an easy transition.
Okay, so you want to tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure.
I understand that you've been here for a while.
Over 20 years.
And you've been involved with law enforcement?
Yes, I have just retired in the last few years as one of the deputies here in town. And started out coming to Mariposa. I was a park ranger, backcountry ranger with Yosemite National Park. I take a horse and mule, 10 days worth of supplies, and patrol the backcountry.
Uh-huh. So the pistol on your hip is the real deal?
It's the real deal. I'm going to draw it out. But this is a vaquero. It is unloaded, my dear. Don't worry. It is a new vaquero, excuse me. And it's a wonderful present from my husband. But on the wagon train and rides, it helps keep people and my mule in line.
Right. If they step out of line, you just fire off a couple of rounds to remind them.
Exactly.
To my knowledge, there's never been anybody shot on one of these wagon trains.
Not that I know of.
But at least they hide the bodies really well.
All right. You're involved in, like I said, one of the more significant historic activities. The Cannonball Express is part of the activity. Maybe you guys could tell us a little bit about it.
Would you like to tell the history?
I'll give you a little bit of the history. We are celebrating also our 40 years of this event. It's a recreation of the wagon rides and stagecoach rides that used to go through this county that were going back to the history, of course dealing with the gold rush in the late 1840s. And so much of the 1850s, they needed the wagon trains to bring up the supplies for the stamp mills and the camps. And then after the gold rush era, Yosemite, which is now Yosemite National Park, became well known, and people, of course, wanted to come up and see it. So hence the original tourist trade, the different routes coming up from Raymond, California, from the Fresno area, would have stagecoaches going up through Raymond, up over Chowchilla Mountain, which our route does now, recreates on a 3-day ride, and used to go to such places as the Wawona Hotel, which President Theodore Roosevelt and the Rockefellers went over that route into Yosemite. And then also the stagecoaches would take the train passengers that came up the Merced River Canyon and stop there in El Portal, and then would take the stagecoaches into Yosemite Valley from that point. So we are just recreating some of those historical events and those stage routes with our organization.
The roots of yards.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
All right. You play kind of a unique role in this organization. Do you want to talk to me a little bit about it?
Well, I'm on the board that organizes the wagon train, and this year, since it's the 40th anniversary, we've decided to do something extra special. We always like to get the community involved in the wagon train. That's number one, because this is done for them. And one of the ways that we've extended that this year is to involve the schools. And we have created a cowboy poetry contest. And the children in the grade school and the high school in Mariposa, and also the school in Cathy's Valley, are taking part in this contest. And we are going to get from the teachers their final selections of poetry, and we will judge the finalists and present prizes for the winners during the wagon train.
And this goes on at Dara Schoolhouse? Will you do the cowboy poetry?
Yes, that is where the poetry contest will take place, and the winners will read their poems.
That sounds
Dara
really
Schoolhouse.
awesome.
I know, really, and this hopefully will become a new tradition with the wagon train, because it does get more of the community involved in it. And that includes the parents as well as the students and the teachers.
Well, what's so important about this, as she's saying, is the wagon train has had, you know, many of the old timers from, you know, the county around. We need to get the younger generation involved and into their history, and this is a wonderful way of doing
This
that.
is part of the mission of the show. You know, we have some really some great traditions here, and getting people informed, educated, involved in some of these traditions, historical organizations like the Masonic Lodge or the Oddfellows Lodge.
Right.
Of course, we have the Clampers.
Yeah.
I knew you would like that. Are you a widow? Are you a widder?
No, sir.
Okay.
I can be.
I'll talk to your husband. I'll talk to both of your husbands. At any rate, we're Matuka here. At any rate, you know, the history, the culture of our community needs to be carried forward, and that's one of the things that we've been trying to do with this show, to bring people into these organizations and get them involved. And to that degree, when we talk about involvement, I saw some posters about actually getting involved.
Right.
You were inviting people to walk with you. If I had a horse and I wanted to ride with you?
You can even walk. See, these posters are found all over town and in other areas in Mariposa County, and they're a wanted poster because you're all wanted for the wagon train.
Absolutely.
That makes me feel better.
Oh, good.
I even have a mule you can ride.
Exactly. And the wagon train is great because it not only involves people with wagons and their horses drawing the wagons, but behind them are people on horseback, and behind them are people on foot.
How far is this walk?
It's a 3-day event, and I believe it's 72 miles altogether. Yeah.
Well, that's a pretty serious walk.
And it is, but because it's 3 days, you get a lot of breaks in there. You get breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And the meals are fabulous.
And probably the most important benefit that comes out of this walk is that you get to network with people who have connections with the history, the culture of our
Yes,
community.
absolutely.
And,
Yeah.
And people actually, so this would be kind of like a 3-day history lesson.
Absolutely.
In the history and the culture of Mariposa County.
It is. And as the saying goes, some things never change. And thank God that's definitely true in Mariposa.
Absolutely.
Well, they seem to get better.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep.
we're learning things like this technology that we're fooling around with here. We're able to communicate in a much more effective way, I think. But at any rate, I'm getting the wrap-up sign from all. You all saw that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you're getting the hook.
Isn't he sneaky? At any rate, I get him to smile. But the objective of the show is to get Walt to smile at least once.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you met your goal.
Yeah. At any rate, let's just go through this one more time. On June 10th through the 13th
Correct.
is the Pioneer Wagon Train.
Yes.
They need to contact your organization if people want to get involved in the activity.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a phone number.
Yes, and we have a website.
That would be
Okay.
the
So-
best way to get information.
Yes, that's the best way
website.
because that's complete.
So it's just wagontrain.com?
MariposaWagonTrain.com. And also we're on Facebook.
Yes.
Facebook.
Yes, so you can
Mariposa
like us on
Wagon-
Facebook.
Mariposa Wagon Train?
Yeah.
Mariposa County Pioneer Wagon Train.
Mariposa County Pioneer.
Right.
So, if you, by any chance, have a couple of 3 days, actually, if you just went and spent one day,
Absolutely.
You don't have to spend all 3.
This would be an adventure of a lifetime. And of course, we have the Dara School, and we'll be back with you guys when we get closer to the actual event.
Right.
So anyway, I want to thank you both for being here. Kitty Nasarow, Lisa Sullivan, Miss Kitty, and Clancy.
Clancy.
Do that for me. Give me
Clancy.
Ah, I love it. I love the women in Mariposa are unique, and that's why I haven't left. Anyway, thank you very much for being here with us today. Thank you for joining us. This is Bob Borchert coming to you from Old Town Mariposa, and the show has been brought to you by Bet's Gold Coin.